Welcome to Bikers and Backroads, a podcast about all things Harley Davidson. We're your hosts, Jason and the Big Z, so sit back and join us as we go into this week's episode of Bikers and Backroads. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for downloading the latest episode of Bikers and Backroads. We're here on your YouTube channel where you can find us, and you can find us on any audio podcast platform, Podbean, Apple iTunes. We're on Spotify. We're on Amazon. We also do social media feeds. We're on Twitter at BNB_pod, and we are on Instagram and TikTok at Bikers and Backroads. So you can find us anywhere. You can follow us. We have more TikTok followers than anything else right now. So we're going to really dive into trying to put some stuff out there. Not trying to be an influencer. We're just trying to put some stuff out there to interact with people, bring you what we've got. We've got great opinions about things, which aren't lacking in the world today. Most people have opinions about things. But whether you bought your first Harley or you're just dreaming of owning one or you're multiple Harleys into your riding career, we think we've got something to offer you. We've got opinions from the youngster and the old guy. But tonight we have a quick one for you. We're just going to run down a few things. Where we are, we're recording this on Friday night, and it is currently January the 23rd. Mm-hmm. We are in the midst of being predicted for a rather large weather event. My man here sitting beside me is about to head out in the morning, reporting for some storm duty. So we usually have been recording on Saturday morning. So we're getting this knocked out tonight. We'll get this put out over the weekend. If you're in our viewing area, we hope you're safe. Your power stays on, your belly stays full, and you enjoy some family time. I think sometimes these weather events get you a chance to just kick back and enjoy those people that matter the most to you. Mm-hmm. It gets your attention about running a rat race. And as much as we love doing this and doing things about motorcycles and things, we both do motorcycles a lot for the peace it gives us and just a little bit of a disconnect. But sometimes it takes a storm to do that, and it is still January, and we are an area where it does snow sometimes. So we're going to look into some snow. We're hoping to not have an ice storm, and we're really hoping the power doesn't go out. But if it does, we're prepared. So what's going on, man? You had a work week, and now you're about to have a storm weekend, call out. Yeah.
Work weekend. Just preparing, hoping everything goes all right and everybody stays safe. But definitely a long week, and very short weekend. But we're looking forward to the warm weather and getting out on two wheels a little bit more often. That's just what's keeping me going.
So last week's episode, we're just going to talk here. It has really low views. Mm-hmm. I know it was long, so we're not going to do a long format video today. There is mixed reviews in the algorithms out there about how long something can be, but go back and check that out. We get talking about whether or not you think you can buy the perfect motorcycle.
Yeah.
And that was at the end, so fast forward to the end. But give us some comments and some content of what your thoughts are on that. We like to interact and things. Again, shoot us some messages, DM us. We can be reached on that YouTube platform or whatever, and you can ask us and give us an address, and we'll send you out some stickers. We do have a couple cool stickers designed for us, but we'll get into this. We're going to start, as always, as a safety tip. And just because our bikes are sitting in the garage and it's been really cold, one of the things we talked about is, oil changes and a chance to do some routine maintenance. But one of the things is clutch lever adjustment. I mean, our bikes are cold. They haven't warmed up. They're sitting there. Everything is probably at its peak of slack, for lack of a better phrase. So when you have some slack or slop in that lever, you can easily slide down that throttle cable. It's got a jacket or a dust cover over it. You'll pull that back. You can undo the lock nut, and then there's an adjustment there. Mm-hmm. And you can adjust on our bikes. Mm-hmm. This has changed. Now there's, I guess, a clip with a built-in spring on lever cables, and you just pull the clip out, the spring adjusts, you clip the lever back in where it's like, I saw it on YouTube. It's pretty cool. But you can do whatever, and I guess there's always aftermarket cables when you lengthen them for handlebar height and things that still go back to the lock, the jam nut, and then the tensioner on the cable. So to just take a little bit of slop out of your lever, and it happens, it builds up. I mean, we stretch those things. That's what they're designed to do. So if you're just trying to take some slop out of that lever, it's an easy adjustment down there at that dust cover. For fine adjustment, like your clutch has to be adjusted because you want it fully engaging and fully disengaging when you're riding and shifting gears, or you're going to get uneven clutch wear. You're going to have an added maintenance cost. That clutch is designed to last X amount of time under normal wear conditions. If you're just beating it up, you're just costing yourself some money. And it sounds like it could be daunting, but there's YouTube videos on all of this. But if you have to, you can pop that primary cover off. That clutch adjustment's right there. It's a couple nuts. You loosen them up. You adjust it. It's like tighten it down, back it off a quarter turn. Trust me, there's great YouTube videos out there about adjusting the clutch at the clutch basket as well as in your clutch cable to take that slop out of the clutch lever. While we were talking about this, you had a great one too.
Yeah.
So
go and if you're going to be doing your clutch lever, you might as well go ahead and slide down and check your throttle cable as well. It's pretty much the same thing with the the boot that covers up your jam nuts and things of that nature. It's the same exact way on your throttle cable as doing the clutch, and it's like he said, it's not very intuitive. Anybody can do it. It's not hard to figure out. You're going to do it one way, and if you do it wrong, it's just going to get looser, and so you spin it back the other way. It's very simple. You don't be nervous to do it. It's not like you can really mess it up, and if you do, you can probably watch a video to find it and figure it out. But if you're going to be messing with the cable, you might as well spin around to the other side of the bike and mess with your throttle as well. That cable will stretch too after riding. So if you notice that your throttle tube doesn't seem to snap all the way back and you can roll it forward a little bit or more than what you would like, just adjust it, because you might find that you've been missing out on a little bit of performance and let alone just the feel. You'll get some better feel out of your motorcycle through your hand on your throttle hand. So yeah.
When we did your new grips, when you changed your bars, we unhooked all the throttle cables away from the perch, the switches and things. And when we put everything back together, we weren't getting all the return, and you were getting frustrated. And all we did was, I looked at some videos and it was like, don't panic. The throttle cable's just dirty inside the tube. So it showed you how to lube that cable. And literally we sprayed some lube down in the jacket or the sleeve that the cable slides in, hooked it back up, made sure we didn't have his throttle tube too far in so it wasn't getting bound up. A couple quick snaps and it's returned, and you've never had an issue with it. But that's another one too. Thing, just to
lubricate them. Yeah, spray WD-40, some sort of degreaser and grimer down in there, or whatever they say. I'm sure there's better things to use than WD-40, but do your own research on that. I can't even remember what we used, but
we may have used a little bit of white lithium grease or something like that. That we used.
But it'll help clean that jacket out. And whenever we did it, we even watched dirt, come up out of the tube,
rusty part of the cable.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So it cleaned it out. Yeah. So
you can easily do these things. And if you're snowed in your garage right now and you're wondering, or at your house and you're wondering what to do, go out in your garage and tinker on your bike and pray the snow melts and hope for some sunshine so you can get out and ride. I was watching Rolling Throttle's Drew's return to being on there. Man, he's been pretty sick. So thoughts and prayers go out to you, Drew, and the Rolling Throttle guys. You've been through it past couple weeks being sick, but said he's been riding in this 20 and 30 degree weather, and it might have been what helped make him sick. But brother, I appreciate your dedication and things. But also, you're just looking for things you can do.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he was out there and he's back. But again, he's been riding in some of this crazy stuff. So I have not. So I'm just thinking of ways I can get back into doing things on my bike and things like that. So those are just things we were looking at. And you're talking safety. I mean, nobody wants to go replace a $500 to $600 clutch because you didn't adjust it with a simple wrench you have and realize those cables stretch. Just adjust them down. You want a little bit of play in your lever, like that first maybe, I don't know, 16th to 8th of an inch.
Yeah.
But then you want to feel a good engage and a good release of your clutch. And you can tell that. Click it into gear and see if it's going to pull and roll. But just something a little simple. So with the new bikes out, we'll go on to the second phase here. Second topic. When we were talking about the new bikes coming out and all the dealerships stuck with 25s still on the floor and even some 24s we were seeing. Heck, I even saw a 23 at one dealership.
Yeah.
I said, what's Harley Davidson going to do to help these dealerships move these bikes? And I was figuring they would be doing some special financing or incentives. And on Harley Davidson, if you don't have the Harley Davidson app and you ride motorcycles, you want to track your rides, and you want to build your points by visiting dealerships and things, download it. It's free. It's awesome. But it gives you great news. So I pulled up my Harley Davidson app just to see what was new. And the first thing was Harley Davidson offering special financing, 0% down, 2.5%, and up to $2,500 of customer cash on select 2025 Grand Touring bikes, which are your Road Glide, your Street Glide, and it was your Street Glide Ultra for last year. It doesn't say what the terms of the 2.5% is.
No.
If it's 36 months, I mean, that could still be a hefty payment. If you're looking to finance a motorcycle, $2,500 of customer cash, though, would probably allow you to update your bars or order your seat from the dealership or put an exhaust on or upgrade that air cleaner. So you're working towards that stage one, whatever, if you want to call it a stage one, however you want to do. Also, if you're into upgrades and you want to stay Screaming Eagle, you can do that and go stage 2 or better with Screaming Eagle parts and keep your warranty there. So,
you say Screaming Eagle, I'll just run with that because locally, our Black Sheep dealership extended their 131 Screaming Eagle motor deal on buying a new bike with if you buying the new bike at MSRP 2025, it had to be a 2025 touring bike. So that was your Street Glides and Road Glides.
Street Glide Ultra.
Yeah. And then with that, if you could opt to, on them, do the 131 Screaming Eagle crate motor, and then you just had to provide the air cleaner, exhaust, and a tuner to run them because they can't run, those motors won't run on the stock. At least they won't run right with those stock parts. But they extended that out to the end of January. It was originally just supposed to be to the first of the year, but now it's through the end of January, which we're on January 22nd now.
We're the 23rd straight up, 23rd. So you got a week. But that's an $8,000 roughly upgrade.
Yeah.
So you are buying it at MSRP. And man, we follow Black Sheep, and they have rolled out. I know this week they have posted on their social media. They've sold like a 2025 Street Bob, at least 3 Road Glides.
Yeah.
I think they sold a Street Glide Ultra. I mean, they have been churning out we were there a couple weeks ago, and they probably had 10 2025 Street and Road Glides.
And he told us, and we even were told that they had 25s still in the back in crates, taking up room for the 26s. So, glad they're getting those moved. And we'll see the spots for those new bikes out here, which granted, that's still a new bike. I mean, they've never been owned. So, but you'll see the new colorways on the floor at least.
So you've got an option there. So I guess, I'm assuming Black Sheep's a Harley dealership. You go in there and you negotiate a little bit off of MSRP. I would hope you're dealing a 25 bike. You're going to get a deal. I wouldn't think those people are going in there and not getting deals.
Yeah.
But
especially if you don't take the 131.
Say you don't want the 131, but you take the $2,500 customer cash and 2.5% if that fits in your pocket or your wallet. So say you negotiate the price down on your bike to what's comfortable, and then you get $2,500 to upgrade it. Or I don't know if you can put that customer cash down to your down payment or whatever. But however that works, there seems to be some options. Another thing, Powder Keg Harley Davidson is close to Kings Island, which is close 2.5 hours from us. Outside of Cincinnati. They're running 0% down, or zero money down, 0% financing, and 0 payments until summer on new motorcycle purchases right now. It doesn't say anything about how long the term is.
No.
And it doesn't say what your qualifying credit score would have to be. I would say you'd have to be a pretty hefty credit score. I even think the 2.5, you're probably going to walk in there and somebody with great credit, they're going to be like, oh, you got to be better than 800. You got to be, and that guy's sitting at 780 and he's going to get a 5% rate. But at 2.5% for 36 months versus 5.5% for 48 or 60 months. It could be less of a payment if you're going to keep that bike for 5 years or whatever like that, whatever people think. Again, that goes back to financing things, and I'm all over the place. I prefer not to finance toys. So, and a motorcycle for me is not a necessity, and I have a really great one downstairs that I really like that's costing me nothing but an insurance payment. So there's 3 options that we talked about this. I was like, Harley Davidson's going to have to do something to help these dealerships move these bikes, especially if the new CEO is all about getting back in touch with riders and helping dealerships. There's more dealerships that are still closing. I know there's a dealership, a family-owned dealer, that it's only like 19 years old. I forget the name of it, but I just saw that it's closing at the end of the month. I hate to see that. Maybe it rebrands. Maybe it gets bought up by, I know we love mom and pop shops, but the Burt Kings and the Teddy Morses that own these empires of Harley dealerships. If you can save a local Harley dealership, I'm all about it. If you create the right culture and it's rider friendly and you take care of people. A customer service is a huge thing for me. But anyway, so there's 3 things that Harley Davidson is offering at dealerships around us, or dealerships have teamed up with Harley Davidson to allow and sponsor promotions to get people in, look at bikes, get bikes sold, and let people come in and start experiencing things and be at a price point that they're happy with. Everybody would love bikes to be cheaper. We're our own worst enemies. We want the best and we want to pay the cheapest for it in everything. But that being said, get into your dealerships, see what inventory is there. If you're thinking about buying a bike, now's a great time. It sounds like the 2025s are what you can find left over or are being on sale with some deals to be had. But I'm just going to tell you too, if you're thinking about buying a bike, now is a great time to be trying to scoop up a used bike in the private sale market, because people will see this and they'll go in and ask to trade theirs in, and they'll be insulted at what their trade number is, and they'll say, forget it, I'll keep my bike. Well, they'll get that second bike and they'll realize they don't ride that other one as much, and they're going to be looking to sell that thing in the spring. So February to early March, you're going to see people who have pulled the trigger and bought their second bike and didn't trade it in. You're going to look to get some good deals on some bikes that are a few years old, probably lower miles, just like the episodes we went through when we were first starting this about your top 10 best used bikes. You're going to be in the low teens, mid-teens to 10 grand or less on a lot of these bikes. And like I said, if you're a fan of a twin cam, it just got a year older. So that $9,500 to $10,000 used bike, and them 26s roll out, and that person's ridden that bike and put a few more miles on it. Well, now he's probably going to sell it for $7,500 or $7,000. I think good bikes are still there to be had under $10K.
And they're not going to quit making parts for them anytime soon.
They're not.
Yeah, if not ever. So.
Well, I guess parts for, what is it? V-Rod. Some guys are claiming right now
Yeah.
that V-Rod parts are getting hard to
That
find.
is
But
something we have heard.
anyway, the V-Rod, that's a good segue. So the V-Rod, we know, was all kinds of engineering and pushing the envelope for Harley Davidson, just as much as having racing back and King of Bagger racing and hooligan racing and all that stuff. And the claim of Harley Davidson going to MotoGP and things like that. So on February 20th, Harley Davidson is going to release the full details of its upcoming 2026 race team. You're definitely expecting Kyle Wyman to be back to defend his King of the Baggers title. James Rispoli raced a hooligan bike last year, a Harley Davidson Pan America. He raced it for Kyle Wyman Racing. I haven't heard any buzz about that. I don't know if he's going to race Kyle Wyman Racing or is Harley going to step up and have its own hooligan thing. Yeah. They're seeing success in all that. I mean, Harley captured almost every major racing platform it was in last year, from King of the Baggers down. So it'll be interesting to see who's on these factory teams. If the factory team is truly just a factory team with a corporate backing, big sponsor like Dynajet was last year, or if Kyle Wyman maintains his own race team for the hooligans and things with factory support. What do you think, man?
Do you like seeing racers own their own race teams, or do you think they just? What do you think? I think it's cool and all. Part of me still thinks it's like, I don't know, the factory. That's like the factory's deal. I think that I would love to see the factory step up more and be like that. That's ours. And you have your race teams and your racers, and I think that should keep it like separate a little bit, because you see, a team that maybe like 4 or 5 years ago they weren't great and everybody, but you like love their bikes, their liveries are always cool and things of that nature, and you'll hear the story or something, you're like, man, I wish they could just get like some better riders or somebody that can really help them engineering a little bit. And then they get it and all of a sudden they're dominating. It's just that classic story. So maybe with like a racer owning his own team, you might not get that anymore. But I feel like that's just part of racing, I
like when racers own teams that they don't race that class.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm getting at.
If I ride for Harley Davidson and Harley even supports me, but I own a team and I employ a rider that's competing against me, man, I want to win, but I also want my brand and my team to win.
Yeah.
So how Kyle Wyman owned the hooligan or raced the hooligan series with Rispoli, who is his teammate in King of the Bagger, I think that's a great thing, and I'm sure Harley Davidson throws tons of corporate help to that. And I don't know any of this to be 100% true, but you haven't heard any rumblings about it being a sticky situation. Nobody's telling him you can't have a team and all this stuff. Like that, you don't see any beef between him and James as I'm your owner. No, I'm your teammate. So I think that's all cool. And this is still so cool and new right now that I think those guys just love riding, and they would probably race, around your neighborhood if you let them and paid them money to do so if they won. So, back to the race teams. We love that stuff. And, we love to follow that. So,
ready to watch that. See what this season brings.
Ready to see the 2026 race team. We love racing, period. We're excited that Supercross is back. We've managed to watch both Anaheim 1 and the San Diego race, and I'm excited to watch Anaheim 2 tomorrow night. So,
and then another thing with racing, and I just can't get it out, and I've mentioned it before, the Buell Super Cruisers are hitting the roads. I just do not see that bike not being into racing. Is Buell going to come out and make some bagger to be in Battle of the Baggers and race with that? Don't really think so, because they're so sports-oriented and high-performance-oriented. I don't necessarily see a cruiser, a touring bike in their lineup. But do we see the Super Cruiser in the Hooligan Series or something of that nature? I guess it's not necessarily that kind of like bike as the ones that are in it right now, but could it compete with it? It might. So I just don't. I hope to see that Bill will be back into the racing spirit of it, because they've been doing with the same motor that's in the Super Cruiser. I can't remember the name of it, but they have a like elongated hill climb dirt bike that's been winning championships in the hill climb world with that same engine. And then they have it in their Hammerhead series, which is their super bike, and that does, its thing. But I just, I'd love to see that Super Cruiser in like maybe the Hooligan series. I don't see how it couldn't be, maybe not this year. I mean, if it is, I haven't heard anything about that. But, and if you have, leave us a comment and let us know. But yeah, ready to see what this race season brings.
I mean, there's buzz about. I mean, when you see the Hooligan series and you see the Pan America stripped down,
exactly.
It looks a lot like the Super Cruiser. They're even talking of racing an electric one. This Shark something team or something like that. I forget. But I mean, as long as it would meet the parameters, you're definitely going. An e-motorcycle is definitely going to get you on launch. But you got to be able to ride that thing. And but I don't see why the Super Cruiser couldn't be in that series, or if there is a Street Fighter class of naked street bike.
Do they build a new class and bring the Lowrider S's or the Lowrider ST in that Super Cruiser style, and then you bring the Indian Sport Chief that they have, and you bring those like cruisers? I mean, that would maybe even open up an area for like some metric bikes to join in on that style. I mean, I don't know of any metric bikes right now that are up there competing with the Lowrider S and ST and the Super Cruiser, like that kind of high performance cruiser model of bike. But it could potentially open up a market or let them get into that racing style. I don't know. That's just, I mean, Battle of the Baggers is still fairly new, so they're still growing.
Absolutely. I mean, the only thing is racing costs money. And I mean, you're trying to get a new CEO and you're launching new bikes and you're fighting tech and you're fighting prices and I mean, our market share is what it is, and their growth wasn't there. I mean, Indian's losing money. And now they're going out on their own. They wouldn't have went out on their own. If Can-Am wouldn't have sold them off if they were super profitable. And that's no slam on Indian. That's business 101. I mean, if things are making you money, you don't get rid of it. Or if you sell it off, you keep a better percentage so that you can recoup some of the R&D you gave to get it to where it is. You don't just keep a minimal percentage in that. That's kind of like a token, hey, we don't want you to fail. But, I mean, Indian's got its own uphill battle. But I think Buell has that same kind of battle. I mean, I don't. They're great. I mean, I had a Buell. I love it. I'm all team Buell because I think the American made that heritage. That came from blood, sweat, and tears, and developing. And it had a corporate relationship with Harley when it started, and now it's just out on its own. And you've got Roland Sands helping you develop the Super Cruiser. And I mean, we know what kind of custom bike builder he is, and what his flair is, and the SoCal regions, and what that bike is built to do. But it wasn't built to sit in your garage, and it's not like anything else that's out there right now. So its ability to be dialed in and things of that nature. So here we are, again, Friday the 23rd. Without you getting sent off to work tomorrow, we were planning on venturing out and seeing what's going on, but what's going on around us, and we'll let people know, and we'll be bringing you some videos of this. You're seeing them already out there, I'm sure, but hey, we think we got something to offer you.
So one last thing before we end this is a lot of the new 2026 regular bikes are starting to hit the market. Of course, a lot of the places, the first things they saw was some of the CVOs and things of that nature, but a lot of the dealerships are starting to get their, Lowrider STs and the road glides, the street glides. Expect some of the new limiteds to be out. I didn't see any of our local shops posting that they had them yet. But we did see that our Black Sheep had a Liberty edition, the new anniversary edition. I think we both want to see that in person for sure before it gets sold. I don't think either of us think it's going to last long on the dealership floor, because those are just going to be a collector's bike. Somebody's that it's got more money than they know what to do with is going to scoop them up because they've got about every anniversary edition out there. So, and then we're hoping to get
collection.
Yeah, we're hoping to get some, shorts out of those as we see them and little walk-arounds and maybe look for things and show that we think are cool that didn't get as much, viewing on the release videos. And then, so just be looking out for those new bikes starting to hit the road. I'm sure they will before too long. I'm sure they're already being sold, even though these 25s are still on the floor and they're running good deals. But, man, if you see that color that you want and that's your bike, hey, I don't blame you.
Yeah. I do know that they have received the new Street Glide CVO ST in the blue.
Yes.
I saw on their channel that they unloaded that, and I want to go in and see that. But I think watching a bunch of people that give good content in the Harley Davidson and motorcycle world in general, I think the bike might be for this release. I think the limiteds will get a lot of play.
Yeah.
But I think the Street Glide CVO Limited, that coast blue, gray, fade to black, pinch, that tricolor, that might be the bee's knees bike for Harley's release this year. I have seen no one that has test ridden that bike that is not planning on buying it.
Yeah.
Like they've brought those content creators out west and they're riding them everywhere. I mean, everybody that's ridden them has been like, I don't know how this is not going to end up in my driveway or in my garage, because this bike is better than two other CVOs I own, or people that are just CVO owners, or they're big bike people, and the comfort of it versus the rideability of it versus the paint versus what the CVO offers. Everybody is very well pleased with what Harley offered in that bike. I'm excited to see that. That CVO Limited Street Glide, I mean, is that something I'm going to jump on? No, that's definitely not my price range.
No.
The only thing concerns me is those lowers on that bike have speaker pods built in, like where the other ones have your storage. And I know they're vented, but that CVO runs that snorkel type air cleaner. Does that lower block any airflow there?
Yeah, I don't know.
As that comes in, I have no idea. That's just a nerd thing.
That might be why they put that big sucker.
It could be. CVOs always run a larger air cleaner anyway.
Yeah.
But that stuff is intriguing to me. I want to see those. I want to see that new limited Pan America. I want to see the Softails, all the Softails.
Yeah.
I want to see the Lowrider ST. We've seen the Street Glide.
Yeah, I want to see the new CVO ST Street Glide, because from online it looked like the bars appear to be a little bit different, a little bit higher.
Yeah.
I'd like to feel that and see how much better those are, because I'm not a huge fan of the just Street Glide, your base Street Glide. The bars, I don't think they're very comfortable to me. Now, to some people, I'm sure it's perfect for somebody out there, but for me, I don't really like them. But in the CVO ST Street Glide, it appears they made those a little bit taller, and I believe they would probably fit me a little bit better.
Those bars are a cast one-off bar, and the reviews I've seen are on the Street Glide CVO ST. It puts your hand position exactly where the Road Glide CVO ST is, and those are lower than the regular Road Glide bars. But that rider's triangle is a little different too. That seat's a solo seat. It may scoot you back a little bit. Those boards are smaller, they're a little up higher, so it's track oriented. You're not scraping if you're leaning over.
Better prepared to get over the front and load the front on a tight turn, taking at speed. So
I just want to ride a Street Glide, whatever, CVO, whatever. I want to ride a Street Glide. I want to ride a Road Glide. I I believe in my mind and my heart of hearts, I'm a road glide guy. After years of thinking I was a street glide guy, just the fit and feel of me, my rider triangle when I'm sitting on the bike in the dealership. We've talked about this 100 times. But I see such an emphasis placed on the street glide right now. It's almost like Harley was like, hey, the street glide used to be our baby,
Our flagship,
and now it's not. And we used to sell lots of ultras and ultra classics, so let's call them a limited and bring back everybody a new King Tour pack. But again, that's one of the things that's getting a lot of rave is from the people who have seen it, used it, traveled on it, at least a little weekend trip, is that new King Tour pack. I want to see that. I don't know how big a tour pack guy I am, but you got the ability to put two full-size helmets in a tour pack. You might not even use your saddlebags if you have a limited with a good tour pack. I don't even know. I've never ridden a bike that had a tour pack on it. The people that are riding it are saying you don't even feel the tour pack on the limiteds. Like, you really can't even tell they're back there when they're coming off of just straight baggers. So that's kudos to Harley if they've built that the right way and stuff. I know as soon as the weather breaks, our local dealership will let you take some test rides. They're always willing to let you do that. I'd like to get somewhere where Harley's doing a test ride, so you got multiple bikes to ride in a day, and just go enjoy that. So, but yeah, so dude, that's all we had. We got about a 35, 40-minute show here. Like I said, we're just trying to knock this out before Z gets in the middle of storm work, and we're sitting here holding it down, hoping everything works out okay. Again, you guys just be safe, take this time, reflect, be with your family, tinker on your bike, plan some things, whether it be some trips and rides or some maintenance ideas, whatever you do to pass your time. Comment, like, share, subscribe, get our videos out to your buddies. We're trying to grow this thing organically. Of course, we're not sponsored by anybody. We just do our own thing here, but we're just trying to bring you better content. Two guys just talking about motorcycles. So that's what I got, brother. You want to take us home? Yeah, that's all for today's conversation, everybody. Thanks for listening in. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Remember, you can find us on anywhere you listen to podcasts. You know, Podbean, Apple iTunes, Amazon, you name it, we're on it. And then if you're looking at us, you've already found us on YouTube, so we're there. Bikers and Backroads on everything. You know, we're on Instagram and TikTok, Bikers and Backroads, X or Twitter, and B&B_pod. But yeah, we appreciate y'all. We hope you just leave a comment and interact with us. And that's all for today. We'll holler at y'all later. You guys stay safe and be blessed. We'll see you soon.